Welcome back, everyone. You're watching Foreman's Basement. My name is Frank. Today I'm making a video all about Seydel Harmonicas. My testimonial, just my experiences. This isn't really a specific review. These are just my thoughts and opinions on Seydels. I own a few of them. I really like these Big Sixes. This is called the Big Six. Now this is a custom one that I ordered. It was a little expensive, but if you guys want to try them out, they also make the Big Six in just a C with a wooden comb. I'm sorry, I don't have the other side of this cover plate. I had to cannibalize it, but I did just want to show you can get this brown wooden comb one in C on Amazon. They're about 40 bucks. And any other key is going to cost you a little bit extra. I've also owned Seydel Session Steels, which we'll be talking about. I own a couple of these. And I've also tried the Blues Session Low D, which has brass reeds. And that's an important distinction to make because today with Seydel, we're talking about stainless steel reeds. That's actually why I had this here to show you guys. I'm sorry, the lighting is just so bad in here. Last video, somebody was like, maybe learn a little bit about angles. Those reflections are kind of harsh. I was like, you got me, bud. I'm not exactly a cinematographer. Actually, before we get started, I just did want to mention thank you guys so much to everyone who watched that video, everyone who gave it a like, everyone who commented. Even if we have differing opinions, I think it's great that you guys watch and comment. We're all part of the harmonica community, and you guys are welcome to say whatever you want, even if it's harsh. I'm serious. If you have something to say to me that would be, even if it's something mean, I will not delete your comment. I don't believe in that. You should be able to say whatever you want. So any comments, guys, I love to read them. I try to answer as many of them as I can. Thank you, guys. I only mention that because I really do believe all entertainers, sorry, I just bumped the microphone there. All entertainers, people that post on the internet should not be turning off comments. I see that a lot. The other day on my Sonny Boy Williamson video, some guy wrote, first of all, kid, learn how to play in all 12 keys, because I was playing a C harmonica, so I guess he was assuming that was all I had. And then he goes, and second of all, stop trying to learn this garbage from Sonny Boy Williamson 1 and 2 that has been out of style for years or whatever, that nobody cares about anymore. Now, a lot of people would have just deleted that. I left it up. Actually, I pinned it to the top of the comments. Then I got violently drunk that night and went back and typed him like 6 or 7 messages of just the worst things that I could possibly imagine. And he didn't say anything for a few days, but when he logged back in and he saw those comments, he was shocked. He was like, you use disgusting language that needs to be reported. So basically, he's mad that I'm standing up for myself because he came into the comments basically just to hate, right? Just to tell me that my playing is bad. When I returned it back at him, all of a sudden he gets really offended. He says, I've worked with some of the best minds in the industry. If you want, what did he say? He said, keep poking a stick, kid. If you want, someone will come get you. That can be arranged. And I replied I forget what I replied. I was just like, fuck you. I don't care what you have to say. Come on over. And he says, I'm in Saudi Arabia and I'm coming to get you or something. I don't know. I just thought that was funny. So I'm getting death threats over harmonica videos, and how silly to make a death threat when you're the one who came over hating. But yeah, to that guy, if he's watching, come on over. Come over, have some tea with me. Anyway, so I needed to get that out of the way. And yeah, we can jump right into the harmonica stuff. I had a lot of Seydel people comment last time. Now, somebody once said, I heard this on a video on YouTube here, Seydel people are very particular about their harmonicas and they feel a certain way about their harmonicas, and I'll be damned if that wasn't true, because every single person from the Honer crossover video that commented about Seydel, they would not let it go. Guys, they are repping their brand. Like, I remember one guy I told him, like, yeah, I've already tried them. They're not necessarily my favorite. And he's like, well, have you tried this and that? You can gap the reeds. You can, I mean, crazy. I love the passion. And please remember, if you like Seydel and you don't like something that I said in this video, that's okay. We're all harmonica players. Put your grievances down below. Not that I'm going to trash them or anything. I think Seydel is very cool, but I do have some unflattering things to say about them, unfortunately, as I do about Honer or any other product. I just take an objective look. You guys know I love marine bands, but I'm not going to pretend like there isn't some quality control issues there, even though it's my favorite harp. Okay, so Seydel is a German manufacturer. They've actually been around since the 1840s, but we need to get something out of the way very quickly because I spoke to the American representative for Seydel. I also read their history on the Wikipedia, and it's a little. They're kind of misrepresenting themselves. When Seydel says since 1847, that's kind of true, but not so much. For example, don't you ever wonder why all those great players played the Marine Band, yet you never saw a single one of them play a Seydel? Did you guys ever wonder about that? Because I sure did. Well, it turns out Seydel, as we know them today, have not been around since 1847. Not even close. Yes, they were manufacturing harmonicas, but the company went through several different hands. There was a political thing. Guys, by the way, if you have to correct me on anything, again, please, down in the comments, I will. You guys are all welcome to correct me on this. This is just as I understand it. So it was a family company. They made harmonicas somewhere around the time of the Republican and Democratic issue that Germany was having. They were under occupation by the Russians or something like that. Anyway, point is they lost control of the factory. A few years later, the factory gets given to the rightful heirs of the Seydel. Eventually, the company goes broke in 2004. And by the way, this is all before the steel reeds. They didn't ever use steel reeds back then. I just want to be very clear because when they say the oldest harmonica company in the world, still handmade since 1847, they're making it sound like they've been producing these modern Seydels that we know nowadays since the 1840s, and they have not. They used to make, I'm not exactly sure, I couldn't even find. I looked up vintage Seydel harmonica. All I found was a couple of tremolos that did look old. They did look old, but they were tremolos, not diatonics. And then I found one, like a mini four-hole Seydel. But again, I don't know what year that was from, and I didn't find a single picture or any evidence of a Seydel diatonic from back in the day. So like I said, there's a reason why you wouldn't have seen Sonny Boy Williamson play in 1847 because they didn't exist. They did not exist back then. And again, if anyone knows about their diatonics, I'd be very curious. I've just never heard anything. And when we talk about vintage harmonica companies, there are many, many that have faded to time. But even those, they're still talked about. Or a lot of times, one company absorbs another. And I've just have not seen any evidence of any old. I'm sure that they're out there. I'm not saying Seydel didn't make diatonics. I'm just saying, again, when they're saying since 1847, the Seydels that we know nowadays did not start coming into production until after 2004. It was only after the company was bankrupted. And again, I don't know specifics. I just took a quick look at the Wikipedia. It was only after the company was bankrupted that they sort of revitalized, and it's sort of seen as it's sort of symbolic. When I spoke to the representative for Seydel, he said something along the lines of, like for German, I don't know, I don't want it, like patriotism, right? Like because they were, I guess anyway, I'm not going to go into it, but the point is, even though it says since 1847, these stainless steel diatonics, as we know them today, did not exist, back then. So I just wanted to get that out of the way because I was always under the impression that they were always around. Come to find out that the company's been through different ownerships, and again, I couldn't even find evidence of an old Seydel diatonic. So I just had to throw that out there. Nothing wrong with that. It's just, it has to be mentioned. Okay, now that all the bullshit's out of the way, let's just get to the actual harmonicas. Please remember, this is my amateur opinion. I feel ridiculous making these videos sometimes, guys, but people watch them and I have to do something with my life, and this channel is the only thing I got going for me, so please keep in mind these are amateur opinions. You guys are more than welcome to correct me on them. Alright, put a little bit of echo here for the testing section. So, the Seydel Big Six, these both have stainless steel reeds, but I'm going to start on this. They all have a very similar feel. Now this Big Six does not have the recessed reed plates. Again, I'm sorry, the lighting is terrible. You're going to have to take my word for it, but you can see the rivet right there up front. So this sandwich style, to me, is very similar to a Marine Band, even in size. because I know the 1847s have slightly thicker cover plates. But this Big Six is essentially a shortened version of their main harmonica, which is the 1847. Now, I'll be fair. I have never tried an 1847. When I spoke to the Seydel representative after I had bought a couple of these session steels and I was trying to get them to work, he told me that if I ever wanted to, he would give me a coupon code to save some money. The problem is the 1847 is, I think it's like $95 or $100. That's insane to me. That's the other thing I had to mention. Last time in the comments in the Honer crossover, when people were telling me try Seydel, I was telling them, guys, I've tried the session steel, I've tried the blue session in low D, I've tried the Big Six. Every time I did this, these, and no offense, but these Seydel guys were like, well, did you try the Noble? Did you try the 1847? Did you try the Lightning? Guys, I'm sorry if we're not all on the same page here. I should not be buying harmonicas at all. I can't even afford my bills. Okay, so when you guys keep telling me, well, did you try this? Did you try that? I don't have money to just be buying $100 harmonicas. When I bought this blue session steel, I thought this is going to be my D for life. Like for at least a few years, this is going to be the only D that I'll play. Turns out it wasn't quite to my liking, and let me tell you why. Now I do want to mention, this is a good harp. It's not bad. The reason why I haven't been able to get along with it is, unfortunately, the stainless steel reeds. The tone on them is fantastic. It really cuts out some of those high overtones that brass seems to have. I mean, just absolutely beautiful mellow tone. Check this out. Absolutely beautiful, smooth tone on that. Very nice, just great sound. But the problem is, these stainless steel reeds, they have an input lag. I don't know if you guys have ever played video games and if you've ever had input lag on your controller, but basically it means you push a button and instead of the action happening right away, the action takes a millisecond, which might not sound like a lot, but honers react right away. So what I'm saying is, in my experience, you need a greater breath force or you need a more power in order to get the sound. Now, everyone who plays Seydel will tell you you just need to make an adjustment. And that's another thing that the guy was trying to tell me when I told him I can't play Seydels the way I can play Honer. He just kept saying, you just have to make an adjustment. You just have to learn blah, blah, blah. Guys, I get it. I understand that you like the harmonica. I shouldn't have to change my entire technique to feel comfortable on an instrument. I'm sorry. That's just the fact of the matter. I love my Honer Marine Band. Never had any problems with the responsiveness on it. It's just instant. You barely breathe and the reed responds, and I feel like I have such control over the reed. Now let's talk about control, because the Seydel suffers from some of the same problems that I find higher-end harmonicas have, which is a loose reed feeling. Now, I've tried to explain this before. When I draw on a Honer Marine Band, I draw two, it feels like I'm clicking a button. It's a tactile sensation. I can feel the chunkiness of the air. It's like, it's like pushing a button. It's like it's very tactile. I can feel it. I know where I'm at. And this is even more important going from one hole to the other, going from 2 to 3. It's like it's the chunk, like the I try to that little 2 to 3, that sort of, that's my like mark for the 2 and 3 draw. Every time I get a new harp, that's what I try to do. It was terrible on the crossover because there's no feeling. It feels like, what am I drawing on? The same thing again with the crossover. Sometimes it feels like I'm pulling air, and it's like, where am I pulling air from? Because the reeds aren't vibrating. What the fuck is this? Very frustrating. Now, of course, I play them. You just saw me play them. I can play them. Play, the whole time, the entire time that I'm playing, guys, I'm adjusting for that input lag. The entire time I feel like I have to think half a step ahead because the reeds aren't going to respond right away. They're going to take a moment. So it feels like I'm always lagging, and it's just... I need you guys to know, when I first bought this and my other session, I got one in D and the other one is in B flat. When I first got them, I was ready to become a Seydel guy. Like, without even thinking about it, I was just like, everyone says Seydels are so good. You know what? I'm going to get a couple of these. I bet you they're better than the Special 20, and I'm just going to start playing those. And I fully intended to. I was fully prepared to make the switch. I was like, I'm going to be a Seydel guy now. Played them for 2 weeks only. Just those two. Even after that, I called the Seydel representative in America, and I said, look, man, I want to like them. I am trying, man. Like, can you tell me anything? And he told me the same thing. He told me everything is going to be slightly different because the dimensions are different. The material of the reeds is different. And he also explained a little bit about the company. So again, nothing against people who play Seydel. I like Seydel. I'm glad that they're around. I just can't do much with them. I think the tone is fantastic, but why sacrifice tone for playability? For me, it's always about playability. Tone would be nice. Tone would be nice, but it's about playability. I feel terrible making these videos. I feel like I'm just trashing them, but it's true. I mean, and you see, someone else mentioned, oh, well, this person plays them and he's one of the best in the world. Guys, are you serious? That's your argument? Let me tell you something. Frank Sinatra liked to smoke Lucky Strikes. Camel offered him an advertising deal where he could only be seen in public smoking Camels. What did Frank Sinatra do? He took the money and he put all of his Lucky Strike cigarettes into a Camel pack. Okay, so just because somebody advertises something doesn't mean goddamn shit. I need you guys to know that. It doesn't mean anything. Jason Ritchie used to be a Suzuki guy. Why? Because they sponsored him. If Suzuki knocked on my door right now, you'd see a video tomorrow about me telling you how great Suzuki is. So I just need you all to know that. What an idiotic way to think because a certain player advertises them and he's one of the best. No, I mean, come on. Guys, let's use our heads, please. Have you guys ever seen the video of Charlie Musselwhite talking about Seydel Harmonicas and how he plays them? He's acting like there's somebody behind the camera holding a gun. Like, Charlie, you better say these are the best fucking harmonicas. You better fucking... That's what it looks like. That's what that video looks like. And same thing with James Cotton. You think James Cotton gave a shit about Seydel? He needed the money, man. I mean, I'm not saying he didn't play them, but that was just a ridiculous argument that somebody made, that because they're advertised by the biggest player, and again, I don't have anything against any of you. Love you guys all. We're all in the harmonica community. I just have a strong opinion about this, that's all. And it's an amateur opinion that could be wrong. And if it is, tell me why and how. You have the right to. And if you guys can prove to me that I'm wrong, I'm always willing to admit it. It's just one last thing that I wanted to say. This is a Hohner Big River. This costs $30. Completely stock, has never been opened. This, to me, and this is generally considered to be not a great harp, this plays better than the Session Steel. I'm sorry, it does. It just plays easier. I have here a Big River harp with a custom comb that absolutely blows away the Big 6. And by the way, the Big 6 is just a shortened 1847. The dimensions of the cover plates on the 1847 are bigger, but as far as I'm concerned, it's the exact same reeds. The dimensions of the reeds are the same. It's literally just a shortened harmonica. So, this Big River with an Andrew Zajac comb, these are both in the same key. This one blows it away. You can feel the chunkiness on this one. And again, this is a $30 harp. Yes, it has a custom comb on it, but that comb cost me like $15. Yeah, that's fair. It didn't come out of the box with this comb, but even this one, even this Big River harp in G, still plays better than my Seydels, you know? And it's not like I don't break it out every now and then. But yeah, you really do find yourself just having to make all these unnecessary adjustments to your technique. And then, God forbid, you play this for a few hours and pick up a Honer again. Forget about it. Forget about it, guys. Find what you like and stick to it. If you like Seydels, I believe you. And by the way, there's people who play Seydels who are miles better than me. I'm just an amateur. I'm just a guy who's learning. This is my amateur opinion. I could be wrong, and I'm very willing to admit that. But just in my experience, I haven't liked the Seydel Session Steels. I feel like I have very little control over the reeds. It's the same problem I had with the crossover. It's the same problem I had with the Marine Band Deluxe. And this could just mean that I'm not advanced enough to appreciate the nuances of a high-quality, high-end harp. I think that's what it is. That's the only logical explanation in my head, especially when I see other people play them so well that I can't believe it. And they look kind of, I mean, I don't know if it's cool or ugly, but they look unique. They have a very unique look. The build quality is solid, but just, I don't know. It's like playing a video game with input lag. I just can't. And the guys in the comment section last time were just hounding me like, you need to learn, you need to adjust, you need to try the Noble, you need to... If somebody watching this wants to set up and send me an 1847, you're more than welcome to, but I just don't think that it would be great. So that's my opinion. Very, very rough, just a testimonial, just my experience. They work, they're good. I did want to mention, at the very least for the Big Six, I think that the bending on hole 3 is fantastic. Better than Honer out of the box. So that's nice. And I can't really think of much else to say. I should have brought the low D out here too. They do provide harmonicas with brass reeds instead of stainless steel. My only question is, at that point, why wouldn't I just get a Honer? But maybe I should try the Seydels with the brass. So yeah, I hope this video is not too... I definitely feel like I said a couple controversial things, especially about the Seydel factory. I hope they don't come after me for that one, but... I don't know, guys. That's just my opinion. I mean, if I continue to play harmonica, yes, at some point I will try the 1847. I'd be happy to do a review. I'm just not going to spend $100. I mean, look, this was $70. This was $40. I forget how much this was, but if I had to guess, it was at least 50 or 60 bucks. And I got 2 of them. And that's all money that just... It's not thrown away, but I just don't really play these. I played this one for a long time because it was the only A that I had. And and I will say this, the Big Six, this has to be mentioned. The Big Six is the best harmonica that you can possibly get for wah. You cannot get a better harmonica for wah because it's closed off completely. You can actually, and it's small, so you can really make a horn with your hand. You can wah-wah to your heart's content with this. That's something you cannot do on a Marine Band. I mean, unless you have hands as big as Sonny Boy Williamson's, because look at those vents. You know, I actually used to tape up the vents on the sides of the Marine Band just so that I could wah-wah better. I'll have to make a video about wah-wah, because I've had a lot of people comment about wah-wahs, and I think it'd be great. I also want to talk about my cup technique. Also, all jokes aside from what I said earlier, I do plan on reviewing the Suzuki Manji. I have 3 or 4 of those, and I have some opinions. So, anyway, guys, let me know what you think. Thank you for watching. See you next time.